Made in China. Von der Werkbank der Welt zum größten Konsumentenmarkt und Technologieführer. Eine Reise durch das Leben, Business und die Kultur im Reich der Mitte mit Damian Maib und Thomas Derksen.
Very warm welcome to the Made in China podcast. We are very happy that finally we again have one in Damian's office. We are 3 people here and we are very happy to have Ketin Lei here. He is the chairman of the Foreign Investment Enterprise Association of the Qingpu district in Shanghai and general manager of corporate affairs at Beiersdorf China. And he is responsible for corporate affairs, including government relations, regulatory affairs, communication, and so on. And you have a lot of experience how it is for German and foreign companies to do business in China. And this is all what this podcast is about. We really want to hear what you have to share with our listeners. And we're very looking forward to a valuable conversation.
Right. Okay. So thank you, Demi. Thank you, Afu, to having me here. How should I call you in this podcast? Thomas. Okay. So thank you for having me in this heritage buildings to talk with you guys. I have also considered some of my clients from the Japanese, from the Germans. Nearly to Fiat company. So I didn't go to Fiat company. And also as the chairman of the foreign Qingpu, the foreign investment company, and so seeing China has going through the different stages and now in a new era, new stages, I think opportunity is always there. And how to understand the China market and how to get take this market as part of the potential westport to further business, I think is something I really would like to share with you guys. Thank you.
Perfect. No, we are very much very happy to have you with us here today. And as always, we do start with our 3 quick questions.
All right.
If you could choose to speak one language right away at the press of a button, which one would it be?
Chinglish. Chinese plus English, you call it Chinglish.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Now we are on the verge of spring. Which season do you like the best?
You mean Shanghai city or where?
Yeah, wherever. Shanghai, yeah. Shanghai is maybe a good answer.
Not summer. The fall, the autumn. The autumn is best season, but it's getting shorter and shorter. Climate change.
Yeah. Autumn is very nice in Shanghai. Well, last question. Where would you like to travel next?
My next travel will be Beijing next week. But for me, traveling is the most convenient places. For example, if I take train 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. So now I have the faster bullet train. I can go Beijing and go Wuhan in 3 to 4 hours. For me, as long as the train can get convenient.
That's true. I also love traveling by train, especially and only in China.
I know.
Yeah. We were not talking about Deutsche Bahn today. A lot of people talked about it. So we already introduced you, but for those who don't know you yet, who are you and what do you do on a daily basis?
Daily basis, one is I have my job as the employee of the Beiersdorf China to look after the government affairs and corporate communication, legal, regular affairs, etc., etc. I do business. I do things. The other people is sometimes from the how to say this word. Okay, you can cut this way. And another is to being the bridge for the local companies. I mean, the Qingpu's foreign invest company to be the bridge with the local authorities to find out what's the different facing, how to solve it, and what kind of platform can build to let them further to develop their business. Putting to the layperson, as I just told you, I walk in the car. I mean, not sleep in the car. So I drive my car from Qingpu to downtown very frequently. So in my car, I have my 4 phones. Wow. I have 4 phones to handle on different things. Because of the AI in these days, you can talk to the machine to telling them what I'm going to do, so the machine can automatically writing to do that. Yeah, this is how my daily life. Have a car, drive my different places to speak for our membership, speak for the company.
That sounds indeed very busy. 4 phones. Well, you started your career in law. if we are rightly informed.
Yes,
and then,
that's right.
yeah, later you also worked in the automotive industry. What now has led you to join Beiersdorf and stay with the company for more than 15 years?
In China, we have wordings, if I speak in Chinese, 重重轻轻. 重重 means before 1978, the old open door policy, all the heavy investment was in the heavy industry. So it's more focused on the heavy industry, 重重, and the 轻轻. Somehow it's not focused on the light industry. Light industry you can consider it's like the consumer goods business. For me, it's when the times come, I think I to go to different industry to see how the manufacturing, how the marketing and sales channel network has been done. So for me, it's a different experience. I would like to experience different industries of the company. Of course, in the past 16 years, there's an opportunity to go to the e-commerce company. There, I think, fundamentally, it is in manufacturing, produce the goods, and the e-commerce, it's a very important sales channel. But for me, I do believe this is something also very interesting for German and for China. In always consider manufacturing is still the core for a country.
And as you said, you're very experienced helping foreign companies to succeed here and solving their problems. And when you compare China today with how it was 10 years ago or maybe 15 years ago, what has changed most in the way that international companies operate and make decisions?
There's something not changed. Still, we consider it global, regional, local. This is always a dynamic change, In China, fortune is one of options. Global have something that rolled to China. In the past 15 years, I think it's just, it's not one way or the other. It's just trying to find the best sweet point for each company. Because every company has different product, different organization, different cultures. For me, seeing so many companies, there's no right answer for one answer for all of one. So we have to find what's the best to balance the global, regional, and local.
And yeah, from your experience, what makes China so fundamentally different as a business environment compared to Europe or other Asian countries?
Several things. One is the market itself. Purely, sometimes when there's also local company, they would like to exploit the overseas company, which means Europe, American, Southeast Asia, or Africa. But after all of this, of the conversations, one thing they would also to say, yes, we'll go overseas, but on the other, China is such a big and so integrated market. So this is, you can see even for Chinese people that after comparing all of you, still China is the market that's so attractive for them and still have the potential to. This is one thing. In words, it's huge. I don't say huge. It's the biggest market. Secondly, is the supply chain. Here, having an idea from the idea to the prototype or to the finished goods, nearly, or I can't say all of, but definitely can find someone, the OEM plant. You can find the ODM plant, to help you to make things happening. That's third thing. Three is the people. The people is here. The people. One way we say, how to say, 内卷
inclusive?
No, not inclusive. 内卷.
Nature, it's involution.
Evolution.
Right?
Correct. Thank you. On the one way, this is feeling like this one. On the other way, see, there's more energized people here, employee, even the enterprise. So you won't have give a call to say, I want to have these things, get it done on day one. After next day, you get something. You want day one, your customer, your supplier will do all their best to give you on day one at least something. Then day two, day three, you involve. So the spirit to working hard. This is kind of I think Northeast Asia culture still, I think, is from the Confucian. Confucian.
Also very hard for German to say.
This is the philosophy. So make you do. Still, we can, in some, even in Guangzhou places, I remember it is our German leader, once he came back from China, go back to the CDU's, Congress meeting, he said something. He said, work-life balance, whether this will finally, we also need to find some balance between the work-life balance. I think this is our takeaway from him. So here is we Chinese people working too hard. So our balance is to relax more. This is to helping have a more consumption business. But on the other hand, you can consider that this is a country, you have the people that are very hard to helping you to get job done, get business done. But on the other hand, I think this country has realized we need to have more time to leisure. So the more time leisure being released out, it means you had more consumption power.
Yeah.
Currently, this money is just a bank.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, even if you want to be successful in business, taking some time to relax and yet not think of business also helps sometimes. Yeah, I think the perfect country would be a mixture between Germany and China.
Correct.
When it comes to business.
Correct.
Yeah.
We need to learn each other not only to make things, but also to make life.
That's right. In the preparation, we found some very interesting information about your work. One ingredient, one product that Beiersdorf developed. It's called thiamidol 630, and it's a patented anti-spot ingredient, which is very everyone needs it around the world, in China, in Germany, and it's one of the very few new cosmetic ingredients approved by China in recent years. And I know there's a lot of it's a hard process for a lot of cosmetic industry. Damian also works with a lot of cosmetic clients he knows about. So what exactly is this thiamidol 630, and why was this long and complex registration journey strategically so worth it for Beiersdorf?
In China, we can classify this kind of the products into three categories, which is regulated by the National Medical Product Administration. You can consider China FDA for simpler understanding. Drug, medical devices, and cosmetics. And in the cosmetics, there you can classify it in two categories. One is normal, which means moisturizing, the diet, etc. Another is called have special functions. For example, sunscreen and anti-pigment and also anti-hair loss. It's, this has it has the function that will be the inhibitor to the melasma. Sorry, how to speak in that English. To reduce your energy. It's kind of culture here in Asia, not only in China but also in Korea and in Japan. And they usually consider your skin tone is more close to, for example, this Nivea cream color. It will consider it's much more beauty. This is local culture. I think it's taking 15 years to develop that. Usually you challenge yourself is not previously people use the mushrooms, some target from the mushroom to develop this ingredient. But we challenge ourselves whether the mushroom is the same thing, just like the human beings or transformative. So it's this way, it's different. We spent 5 years to get this in a human transformative, instead of 10 years to screen out the right one. Finally, the right one, right way is the number is 630, and we shortened the name is thiamidol. So in Chinese, we also have the trademark name thiamidol, means lightening your skin, and but also same time make it brightening, and also it's safe ingredient. So this is the one. Because this is a very nearly coming into the medical safety record, finally 15 years, take 9 years to register it. So totally, since the day to have this, to kick off this project to being launched, it cost 25 years. Wow. Yes, on the one hand, we say this is a long journey, but on the other hand, it also demonstrates how our German scientists is really can have the patient the long term. I think this is also inspire the Chinese local entrepreneur. Today, I have a local entrepreneur who's starting their business just in 2-3 years. He's very admired the German ways to. He asked me the questions: how to get these things? I say first, give the research people don't short term. Give them freedom, do whatever they want. You don't know the research; they know the research. You have to trust these people. Don't consider it 1 year. For the real research, it'll take 5 years to 10 years. You need to have the patience to get this done.
Absolutely. Yeah, talking about patience and experience, you have now worked in China for more than 20 years across different industries, as we just discussed. So from law to automotive and now cosmetics. Looking back, what has this long and diverse experience taught you about how international companies can succeed in the Chinese market?
My answer will be involved. So 5 years, 1 year ago, you asked me, and this year, and you asked me, probably will have the different answers. But if I looking back in the past, 20 years, what is right is this consider globalization and localization. What do we call that? I forgot the words, there's specific words to it, just as I said at the beginning.
Glocalization.
Yeah, glocalization. Let's say this way, glocalizations. And we cannot always say, we have to always, one day we would find out, the best way to run the China business is this. I love these words from our management, freedom within the framework. You have a framework, then you have the freedom. There are some business we do, there's some business we don't do. Then within the do and how to do that. On the other hand, for different stages, because from the very beginning, if you go back to 1980s, 1990s, you would see lots of the joint venture company, JV, joint venture, then starting from wholly owned foreign enterprises. For different stages, for example, automobile. What I see is automobile business, they have a good business in the past 20, 30 years. Volkswagen has a Shanghai automobile, Toyota has Mazda, also have the FAW, and also have the Chang'an. And they have the different joint ventures and the different partners that are helping them to understand the sales, marketing, network, etc. And now, at that time, people should say, when would the timing? We have the question: when would the timing in China would allow foreign company to have a whole fee in automobile industry? Tesla is the first one to have the 100% whole fee for automobile industry, but it's the new end. It's not moving forward. I think for Volkswagen and etc. I cannot comment on specific company. Just like talking general policy. I think moving forward, for it could be the way that Chinese partner and foreigner helping with each other. To me, I can see there's currently for me as I know Mazda ask a Chang'an company to produce. Just from public source to produce EV cars,
yes,
then export it to overseas. So always have this kind of the being very very open and dynamic. So the last one is that something how I have mentioned. The only things will not change is change. So always ready in the save for the raining day. Probably 3 or 5 years. Current business model will be disrupted. You need to save the future. What's the future going to look like? I think for the leader, it's always to consider what's the changes coming in the next 3 to 5 years, not just 1 year short term. Yeah. Because suddenly you will be disrupted by someone not in your industry.
Yeah, you're totally right. Also, the Mazda story, you're right. We wrote about it in our newsletter, a little advertising for asiabits.com. You can go and check it out. So they are producing here in China for the world, a Japanese company, which is very interesting with all the geopolitical stuff that's going on. We already were talking the strength of Germany, the strength of China, how we can learn. If you see it from the business and company viewpoint, what do you think? Where are Chinese companies are actually stronger today, and where are German companies stronger today, and how can they learn from and benefit from each other?
I would say, because in the past 2 weeks, I happily have the 2 chance to speak to founder of local companies. And I think, our general common understanding is for Chinese companies, most of them still under the is running by the founder, just starting from the second generation who gradually take over, but still their founder were behind it. So we would not see it, which has been in overseas, for example, American, Europe, which a company has 100 years. The founder only have the ownership, but not running the business. It delegates the management team to do that. Here in China, we're not in that area. So it's very easy for him, more efficient. What the boss, that's true boss. What the boss says is the order. And this boss can change his rules or change his order. This is make them to get the good way to efficiency and speed. But whether this can be sustainable, what if the founder cannot run the company? Or what if the founder make a decision, looking back, after 3 years, look back and say, maybe we can do something differently. So what we can learn from a European or American company, as a global company that are being multinational company for many, many years, the ownership and the manager are so separated. And you need induce certain, in other words, check and balance. In another word is avoid the issue later. You need to be very prudent in the development of the product, India, in the sourcing, in the procurement, etc., to ensure that once the product really launch, like for example, a car running on the road, the safety is the first, because that's not only the brand, it's also the people's life. So this kind of the things, I think in the speed, a Chinese company currently they have this advantage. The founder can make a decision very, and for multinational company, layers decision is always there. Yes, you can say, speed is not as fast, but on the other hand, it has the reason to be like this way. Sooner or later, Chinese company, once you want to be a multinational company, Chinese people, branch people always want to have a 100 years company, ownership and management definitely will be separated. You need to endure how to manage a company that you are not manager, it's just an owner. So this is the things, learn each from each. How to be a speed for management team here in China, how to delegate, on the other hand, how to manage it this way. I mean, use another management. This is need some kind of the management wisdom from the headquarters in Europe and in the Americas. Because as I said, currently in China, the competition comes from not only multinational company in China, but also local companies.
Absolutely. Yeah, the local companies have become actually stronger and stronger, and they are real competition for everyone, yeah? Even local to local. And now looking at the role that you have as the president of the Shanghai Qingpu Foreign Investment Enterprises Association, you work closely with many foreign invested companies. What do you think international companies need to understand better today in order to be even better and sustainable in China?
We always say there's words I do see. What's the next market? After China, what is next market? It's still China. This is something not for the reason what officials add, but also I personally do believe that. As I said from the very beginning, now Chinese people are in the next generation. The next generation is coming up. They have different consumer behavior compared to past generations, and they are going to have more leisure time. You can see the pets business, pet food, and has been booming. In my grandma and in my mother's age, they always have city. How to say? They say one day if the dog wear clothes, means it's going to be a joke, but that's not joke. It's normal. It's a daily life. See, you can see that this is a different change of the generation. So this generation, they have a different consumption behaviors, and how to once this consumption can be understood by the brand, the potential is very high. This is one hand. On the other hand is the so-called the silver hair economic, which has been written in the government's report. Please don't consider the silver hair were people in their 60s or 70s or 80s. No. Usually you can consider the silver hair economy are the people who are in their 50s, around the 60s, especially currently 50 to 60, which means that people who are born 1965 to 1975. They are the generation has, how to say in English, they are the generation that enjoy lots of the benefits for globalization. I mean, the China's economic booming with 2 double-digit growth, and they have their real estate has been bought in not very high prices, that they have their retiree fund, and they have the leisure time. This is also someone who has consumption power. If a foreign company for consumer goods can see these two trends, can find a way to gain these consumers, there's opportunity. Also for local B2B business, you're part of this supply chain. Downstream customer grow their business, your opportunity definitely comes. So this is what I see so China's internal market just start. Previously, you can see, we have made product, at least we say for GDP, 1/3 is investment, 1/3 is export, 1/3 is consumption. Consumption always the lowest part in China's total GDP contributions. But in moving forward, the consumption will boom.
Yeah, and one success factor for foreign companies in China is also having a good and fruitful work with the Chinese government authorities. And you have a lot of experience in this. And from your perspective, what really makes the cooperation between government and international companies work well in China over the long term?
A fundamental things for Chinese authority is, for example, we would see, this the philosophy is a little bit different compared to the West, because they are, I would say they are the, you can consider to conference these days. We would announce our KPI, 0.5 to 5% GDP growth. This is the KPI. And the KPI means two things: in which area we develop for economy, and what kind of the benefits. Let's say, just like company, you need to get in top line. You also need to ensure employees happy. Make sure everyone that we're the old elderly, the youngest, in the middle age, everyone can have the safety net, can have the social benefits, etc. Just like employee need the benefits. The same thing. They are the CEO running this company. So also working with the authorities, to be part of this plan, because they also have the consumption powers where they invest. For example, in the next 5 years, our government will invest more in reduce individuals' spending in education, in medicals. This part will be released to consumer goods. We need to see this. So always looking for what's the plan. There are always plans. You need to have a plan. This is our German always saying, plan A, plan B, want a backup plan. 5 years plan. That's all, everything starts. This year, 2026, is the first of the 5 years plan. With authority, always see this one. This is the mission. Consider just this running company. This is the mission. KPI. Every year have the KPI. And this will be allocated to each province level, state level has one level, then the municipal level, then the county level. Everyone will, just the KPI sales departments, your growth rate, what's the area you're going to do, which industry is trying to booming, and they have the industry policy, etc. This is I would say cooperate with this authority is for to understand the way it's like running the company. We make sure employee, that's people, have a good life, happy life, good life, also grows the business. And this growth coming two sides. Of course, you need to, cooperate with the external environment, etc. Then down to the every daily things. Once you have this, holistic view, every daily is going to be easy. You know what they're concerned.
Absolutely. Well, and now looking ahead into the next 5 or 10 years, right? From both your personal experience and also your role representing many foreign invested companies, where do you see the most promising opportunities in China over the next 5 to 10 years?
Consumer goods still. Just as I have been mentioned, consumer goods, we just started it. AI era is coming. In AI, in China, what's different from another country? In China, AI, this kind of things would just consider just like electronicity, like the electricity part, like the air. I don't think company will try to charge you with how much you're going, per how to say that, 算力 algorithm, how much algorithm you not 算法 not 算法
Oh, not 算法 yeah.
算力 means it's just being part of the basic fundamental infrastructure investment.
Yeah,
I do believe that. This is one difference. I can imagine in another part of the world, probably they will be considered as a commodities to charge you as a service. Here probably will get as a public goods to some extent. Then it will make every company will start, have the equal to starting their business to do this. This will be different things. You will have environment that will see AI just part of the your tools, or even your quasi employee. This is one different change. Another thing is here China will become consumption power. Consumers' consumption power definitely increase year by year. It's coming because we understand, I personally also do see we have the other countries' leaders visiting our countries and they would ask to rebalancing. And we don't see any answer in the public, but I do believe this has been heard. From what I always have is public source informations, open source informations. You can see in these two congress, consumption power is something has been written and will be boosting. For this way, that we say we will have more treasure fund, physical treasure policy and the physical policy, physical policy, etc. Well, government will endure more debt to pay for the people's life, because we are very conservative in the past years now. Then we'll get to reduce people, normal people, citizens, they can have more consumption power. So it's just coming. Currently, you can consider, for example, a Starbucks. Let's say I don't say Starbucks. Let's say, for example, a USA brand coffee in renminbi that could cost 22. Then suddenly you see a local company, Chinese company, offer the 10 RMB, 50% price cut off. I think from the very beginning, the price was used American or European as a benchmark. Then to say that currently I have this benchmark, but this price definitely cannot go to 2 tiers, third tiers like province, 2 tiers, third tiers. It definitely can't, because that way people will say, I have my lunch only cost me 15 renminbi. Why should I pay a coffee that even for lunch? So this is not equal to each other. All right. So we can find out, this is the public available information. Starbucks, have a Chinese partner to go deep. And then the price definitely need to be adjusted. Ensure the price, ensure the quality, ensure the brand, brand tones. This is what our foreign, I think, Starbucks is good at. On the other, they will rely on, as they said in their public announcement, rely on Chinese partner to go deep. So what I see is we would see a different area. The pricing will be different. More. One way people would see there's price cut off. For example, local company offer 10 RMB coffee, and whether we should offer or not, it's to recalculate all your balance sheet from GE, from your marketing budget, etc. Currently, in German English, in English currently we the balance sheet was built, I think, is go back to 2010 or 10 years ago. Now we need to find out what's the right balance sheet for Chinese market. But the price system has totally changed. Pinduoduo definitely has its reason. They can offer some goods, Tmall cannot offer. But Pinduoduo also cannot offer something Tmall can offer. So there's very diversity. You can buy different, pricings here in China. So that's for the consumer, but for the company-wise, also the same. We need to read all the business model in the coming 5 years. Someone who did it first, someone game the first, will be a very successful foreign company in China, whether it's food or it's a machinery. I think it's the same logic.
Yeah, that's very interesting to hear. And I think Damian is also very happy to hear that consumer goods will be one field with big potential, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for, selling it every day online.
Yeah, Ketin, thank you so much. This was definitely a masterclass in how to do business successfully in China. And I am sure that all our listeners can get a lot of value from this episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Dami. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you for coming and see you soon.